in my entire career, my entire adult life, there has never been a moment in American political culture where there was a growing movement within the right wing that was questioning our alliance with Israel. And suddenly some of the loudest, most influential voices are questioning that alliance. And I think this is honestly a really important opportunity that I don't want to squander, because it's taught me two things. Number one, yeah, you can build issue-based coalitions in order to apply pressure to get the government to actually represent what we demand instead of what a lobby demands. But the other thing, Glenn, and I want to give you credit for this, is seeing Megyn Kelly's transformation, or I shouldn't even say that, evolution on certain issues. I think you are responsible for that. I think that your willingness to have conversations with her, go on her show. I've listened to the episodes that you've co-hosted with her, where you talk about foreign policy and you have informed her on things that she otherwise might not have known about. And that has moved her on US foreign policy in ways that I didn't think was even possible to begin with, right? And so that has taught me that if you're willing to have good faith discussions with individuals who are good faith themselves, there is a possibility of swaying people, persuading people, learning something yourself about their perspective and how they've reached conclusions that they've reached. But more than anything, I agree with you in that you're not going to change anything if you just consistently vote Democrat or consistently vote Republican and think that these are individuals or these are parties who have real incentives to represent what you want. You have to apply pressure and you have to make them realize that they can't take your vote for granted. And so, just out of curiosity, walk us through your experiences on Megyn Kelly's show, because I really do think that you're the one who sparked this evolution.
I mean, I think I appreciate that, and certainly I've been friends with Megyn for a long time, and I think she respects my views. I used to go on her show. I was the first guest on her show, by the way. So I've been on from the beginning, long before she really started focusing on these issues. Like before, I think most people before October 7th who weren't already thinking about Israel as such a menace to the world and our support for it is so unjustifiable and evil, basically just ingested the Israel propaganda that both parties more or less supported. It wasn't really debated in the mainstream. Everyone kind of knew that you had to avoid it. Tucker didn't talk much about Israel before October 7th either. And I think, I went on Megyn's show and we got into some really robust, like aggressive arguments, debates about things like Mahmoud Khalil and whether these student protesters were actually anti-Semitic. And she was there, kind of spouting the Fox News narrative about it. And over time, she started hearing from a lot of, you see this on the right with a lot. Charlie Kirk was the same way. I used to talk to him all the time and I saw his evolution. Obviously Tucker, when I was going on Tucker and a lot of people on the left were screaming at me, I was listening to what Tucker was saying both on the air and off the air. And I knew that this transformation was possible. And let me just tell you a quick story. I did an event today in Brazil, and like in Brazil, there's a big controversy over censorship. And this 20-year-old college student came up to me and said, "Oh, I'm a big fan of your journalism, Snowden, and whatever." But I've been like arguing against censorship, and there's a big support for censorship of hate speech, quote unquote, in Brazil. And he said to me, "Well, you're gay. Like, do you really think people should be able to argue homosexuality is a sin? It shouldn't exist?" I said, when we first started, when the gay and lesbian movement first started, and I just became part of it in college and high school and law school, that was everybody's view. That was like the dominant view. And we didn't try and censor it or suppress it. We understood that you go out and you search for it and you talk to people and you say, okay, do you have these ideas about what it means to be gay, about homosexuality? And you change their mind through persuasion. You can't force them to change your mind, but you have to go in and engage them and find them. And only for that reason is there now things like gay marriage, which was completely unthinkable back then. Nobody even thought that was possible. And you see this change in public opinion. If you're only willing to sit in your kind of, bubble and talk to people who already agree with you and let people yell at you when you go to other places where you're not supposed to platform people or have dialogue, you may build a big audience, you may make a lot of money in media, you may be popular among a certain faction, but you're not gonna have any effect. What's the alternative to changing people's minds? Violence, right. Civil war. There is censorship, forced tyranny, but other than that, those extreme measures, this kind of dialogue is the only thing that matters. And a lot of us say that, and it's so gratifying to see those changes when they happen.
Absolutely.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.